What did you think when you heard this U-turn had happened today?
Well, it's come as a little bit of a surprise. It wasn't long ago that we had the Prime Minister taking questions in Parliament and appearing to show no real remorse for the horrendous impacts that the family farm tax has had, particularly on mental health to so many farmers in the countryside. So I think it is certainly a relief to an extent. It is certainly a step in the right direction. It is going to mean a great deal to a lot more farmers. Now, I think we'll start getting some statistics over from the tax experts in due course. But my real concern with this throughout has just been the terrible politics of it all for the government. None of this needed to happen. In the build-up to the last general election, the Labour Party spent a huge amount of time investing in the countryside and actually assuring farmers that they wouldn't go ahead with inheritance tax changes. And then suddenly, so soon after getting elected, they did it. And that has caused real problems in the countryside. And I think it's going to be a long journey ahead for the government to actually re-establish that relationship, a good relationship with the countryside.
You talk about the farmers it affects. It's hard to get a definitive picture on how many. You talk to the likes of the National Farmers Union, they say tens of thousands. You talk to the government, they say it's more like hundreds. What is it?
With all due respect to the government, I'm going to be siding with the National Farmers Union on this one. They know their business well. It's a complex area, admittedly, but the changes announced today are admittedly going to be of big relief to a much larger number of farmers. I know Sky News has spent a lot of time talking to farmers since last year's budget, and I can assure you that it has been horrendous. The calls I've had to take with farmers have been really distressing. And so while today is good news, I wish it never happened in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, have farmers, in response to the way the policy was previously, done drastic things like selling the farm, like moving into something else? Have those things happened in the interim that now can't be undone, even if the policy has been?
Yeah, I think that is the case. And I was speaking earlier on to a friend of mine who does work with tax with farmers, and a lot of time and money and energy has gone into trying to protect family farms ahead of April 2026. So I don't know how good this news will be for those farmers. It has caused chaos in the countryside, and let's be clear, there's more damaging policy coming down the line. It doesn't just end with the family farm tax. The animal welfare strategy that was announced yesterday is also causing incredible anxiety in and amongst farmers, particularly those who are worried about being undercut by foreign imports. So you've got that. You've also got changes to shotgun licensing, a clampdown on that, supposedly for public safety, though it's not going to have any effect on that. It's just going to decimate the rural economy and put conservation back by many, many years. So we've got a lot of stuff coming down the line, and I just want the countryside, the government, to focus on doing things to help the countryside rather than restrict it all the time.
Let's just finish off by talking about that animal welfare strategy. If we've seen the government being kind to them, evolving a policy because of feedback from farmers, do you think it could happen with that animal welfare strategy? What you're talking about is the housing of poultry and female pigs, and a lot of people will agree with making welfare better for them, but not when that's the case in other countries that do import into the UK. Do you think the government could raise standards for imports at the same time? Is that the kind of thing you'll be asking for?
Yeah, but to get there, they actually need to speak to the sector before they issue press releases, drop it and walk away. It's caused incredible anxiety for the last 24 hours. Now, the Labour government would have wanted this to be a good news story. In fact, what they've had over the last 24 hours is accusations of furthering a war on the countryside. That's all the government's fault. If they actually stopped and talked to the rural sector and worked with us to enhance policy for the countryside and rural communities, we'd be in a much better place.
We're in the run-up to